I didn't like that.
I mean, I did call it off. Since it was a quicker game than I anticipated. The Bears actually did show up for, I say, half a game.
They showed up. Defense was on point.
Defense does its job. They're fine. I mean, there's a couple missed tackles here and there. The rookie playing soft, the touchdown,
Right.
nowhere near in the screen, you know. But
Kamara played like Kamara. We're playing against Kamara. We're playing against Drew Brees. You actually held him down 26 points, including field goal in overtime. But guess what? Foles has that. If Trubisky's in the game right there, and when they need him to eat the way his body looks as a quarterback, he's a super wide chest and tiny little arms. He's like a T-Rex. Foles. We can argue about it all day because Foles is just as frustrating as Trubisky. The things that you want out of Foles, you don't get out of Trubisky. The things you want from Trubisky, you can't get out of Foles.
yeah, you got to take them both to the lab and make one good quarterback out of both of them.
That's what I said. Put Trubisky in the lab with Steve Urkel and get some Stefano Urkel.
Stefano Urkel, baby.
Yeah, the Dolphins beat the crap out of the Rams, and we couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
And the Dolphins with their rookie quarterback, who was injured with that hip injury from Alabama, comes in, takes over for the bearded one, and they beat the Rams. 2 losses in a row, first time this season. I don't know, man. This was a very winnable game.
The play calling, I mean, it's been crap.
Well, we know that. We already know that. That's a known thing. We complain, we scream, we cry about it every single week. You know what I mean? So that's not the problem.
You know who showed up today? Montgomery.
I mean, that's agreed 100%. Montgomery came out. We saw Montgomery ball out. He actually found some holes, got through where he needed to go to. Tennessee's gonna be another. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely.
So Tennessee. So here's the thing. You forget Tennessee has a running back that's about the size of Khalil Mack, and he looks like he's about the width of a refrigerator. So that's going to be a big problem because you see what Kamara does, but Kamara has a lot of skill in the passing game as well.
Right. He does catch a lot out of the backfield. And
correct.
Goes out of there. So, couple good things.
Roquan showed up. Roquan looked very good.
The throw to Mooney, that 50-yarder to Mooney, and then the catch in the end zone.
It's the first time you've really seen Foles throw down the field in a long time.
Yeah.
That was the thing. At least they took their shots downfield, and they knew that when you're playing against a guy like Drew Brees, that you're going to have to throw down the field.
Yeah, but that dinking and dunking, we've been saying it doesn't work.
No, but work. It does and it doesn't because they
don't have a running game.
It's frustrating. Let's take a look here. We were looking at some of this stuff earlier. 394 total yards for the Saints, 400 yards essentially for the Saints, 272 passing yards, 122 rushing yards. The Bears almost
got 100
Almost got 100 rushing yards. When's the last time you could say that? I don't remember. Was it when Matt Forte was on the team?
Probably.
Or
Trubisky ran for 100.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. If you would have bet on Montgomery to have more than 50 yards, you would have won some money today.
And Mitch...
He's been losing me some money for the last 6 weeks.
And to Mitch to run. But they did a really good job of spreading the ball around. Robinson, 6 catches. Miller. It was Miller time today. Anthony Miller showed up.
He dropped a couple in crucial times.
So did every other player in the NFL. When's the last time you've seen Miller do anything? 8 catches for 73 yards. That's what it says. That's how I'm looking at the stats.
I was that the double check. You don't have your glasses on.
No.
Yeah, I mean Montgomery 2 for 16.
Mooney. Montgomery. You know what I mean? Like Robinson. We saw improvements in the passing game.
Yes.
We saw Foles throwing down the field. We saw a decent rushing attack. Decent, I say, because they still didn't crack 100 yards.
No Komet.
No.
1 for 2.
We also saw Javon Wim's boxing career start tonight.
Yes.
Doing the one thing that you shouldn't do is punch someone in the helmet.
Because he slapped. He didn't punch.
Oh no, no. First of all, hold on. This is not a slap. Okay, even with my big mitts, it's not a slap. I'm sorry. And the poke in the eye or the attempted poke in the eye.
There was a old school player who says if you put your I forgot who it was one of these old school 80 guys. If you put your everything up there is yours. Your fingers end up in my face mask. That's mine. And he bit someone's finger off. It was So.
Well, expect the fine for Wims unless.
Wims might be suspended. They might not let him play the next game.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get fined, suspended.
Is that gonna be a big loss?
No.
Right. And Wims is a lot bigger than I thought he was. When you seen him, I remember him coming in skinny, and he was just like, he was swole. He was, puffy chested.
Let's click on Wims, see what that profile's.
Oh yeah.
6'3".
6'3". What's his weight though? Yeah, don't show his weight.
Don't show.
Anyway, the point is that, again, like I said, the things that you had with Trubisky are the things that you miss with Foles and vice versa.
Yeah.
You combine them together, you got a Hall of Fame quarterback. But and it feels like we've been lucky that we get to these late game antics, and so far the Bears have been able to pull it out, and this time they weren't. So I mean,
well, yeah, I'm kind of tired of talking about the same thing about the Bears, man. Everyone could have showed it every week.
Every week. We got a big show coming up today.
That's right.
We are going to talk about
some baseball.
Some baseball. The oldest man in the world, now the manager of the Chicago White Sox. For some reason, we're gonna party like it's 1983. It's LaRussa. What did I show you? The graphic. LaRussa is like the old man
Family Guy.
from Family Guy. Oh, you can take your pants off if you want to. It's like maybe throw down to first base. Like this guy. I don't understand it. Have you figured it out yet?
No, I haven't figured it out. That's one of those Jerry moves that puzzles everybody. I don't understand it. He's trying to reclaim and fix something that was broken 30 years ago. There's no need to do it now.
This is 80-year-old Jerry's makeup to his 76-year-old friend. That's what this is.
It is.
And that's what Reinsdorf does. He's loyal to a fault. Right, yeah. Exactly. Everyone knows that phrase.
Knows it.
Everyone knows that phrase. When you start talking, they know what's gonna happen next.
What is really gonna bother people is that they might lose their general manager in the next couple of years. If there's friction between the front office and this manager,
well, you finally have a decent GM
yeah.
where it's not Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny's not the GM,
No.
so you know what I mean.
They gave the kid, here's the keys to the Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's a little banged up, and he went over there and bought some rims.
If you're gonna fix up, it'll be a nice ride.
Right. He puts a nice paint job, no more dents on it, put some rims on it, put some sounds on it. And then guess what? Now you got old ass man driving it.
Does he have a license still?
I hope not. I hope not. I hope he gets driven to.
They gave him a license, or they gave him the keys to the car for this.
It's one of those Pace.
Do I call it a
minivans? One of those Pace minivans to pick him up.
O-line. Oh, absolutely. The O-line. Even more desperate when you got a couple more guys going out.
Massey's out.
Massey's out now. Why has Alex Bars not been playing instead of the convertive of defensive lineman? I don't understand that at all. Because Alex Bars played for Notre Dame. He was good at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame is known for having good offensive linemen. And as soon as it said Alex Bars' name, he's on the sideline.
Yeah, you say he's on the sideline. And then the old boy gets hurt, they have to put him in anyways.
Huh? That doesn't make any damn sense. Well, you know that the kid can play. You drafted him to be a part of your line to help your running game, which has been weak all season.
Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Swiss cheese.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Tom and Jerry to pop out the side right there. I mean, it'll drive you crazy, man.
Oh yeah.
What is going on with this?
You got an ad there.
Yeah. So I mean, like, tired of Nagy altogether. Time to move on. And sick of Coward too. Rashad Coward, thank you, because I couldn't remember his name because he was not a memorable player.
He's a coward, all right.
He was a coward. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said in last week's show. When I really went on my rant when we were talking with Will, what did I say? I'm so tired of the entire team being full of projects.
Oh, yeah.
Nagy, project. Pace, project. Trubisky, project. Rashad Coward,
project.
Cordell Patterson,
project.
Every single player that you're counting on to be these key parts of your team are all projects. Nagy had no experience. Trubisky had very little experience. Coward is not an offensive lineman because he's a defensive lineman, and he wasn't good at that either. Patterson is not an offensive player. Stop trying to use him on offense. He's not that good on offense.
I think he's watching Remember the Titans. He's like, hey, Petey.
Strong soul.
Petey.
Bro.
Petey, get in here.
God. Well, because they're thinking about Trevor Lawrence and hoping he's going to join the team.
Yeah,
that's what I hope.
Not our team.
Not at this point because they're so bad at everything that they're even bad at doing bad. Because if they would have tanked the season somehow, you could have had a chance at Trevor Lawrence. And if you screw that up, then guess what? I mean, I'm on the AFC side. I watch the Steelers.
Bears.
Right, you get tired of it.
Tired of it, man.
I mean, over and over the same thing every single week. Every time it's a loss, we're talking about the same problems over and over.
Yeah.
Now,
this week we got a little bit of Bulls news. I just saw some right now.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of Cubs. It was a little tidbit. Actually, pretty cool stuff with John Lester.
yes.
No Blackhawks news this week. We got Notre Dame taking another win. We got
Notre Dame and Northwestern. Yes.
Hopes to get those W's. Next week's game is going to be your game that you were avoiding to watch. Now you got to watch it
I was gonna watch it anyway.
in a fetal position.
Yeah, well that's true. I watch it like this, like I'm watching like Poltergeist or something like that. You know what I mean? Like with my watching through my fingers here. I'm getting real sick of that right there. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I mean, like, so we'll have a good show today. We're gonna really go and kind of do a postseason baseball roundup because now the World Series is over, and I'm sure this guy's happy because we sat here and watched the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers finally do it.
Second team finally.
And we saw Justin Turner act a fool and be COVID positive, get kicked off the field, and then come back and celebrate with the team and kissing on his wife and all this mess. That is ridiculous. What is he thinking?
He's not thinking. He was caught up in a moment.
Oh, red troll ass. If the O-line sucks so bad, play up that and make it a strength by executing screen passes. Nagy. Steve, that's way too much text, man. I can't read that fast.
If the O-line sucks so bad, play up that.
And make it a strength by executing the play. Yeah, I mean, his BU. Here's the problem.
That's the problem. He can't be you.
Here's
you
the
have to be someone else.
They need to take that and say BO because it stinks.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is that we're getting to the point where whatever you do stinks. Somebody else start calling these plays, man. It's frustrating.
Let Nick Foles call his own plays.
Oh, Nick Foles is, man. This is.
They couldn't get the play in because his helmet was broken.
That's not his fault.
That's not his fault.
That's not his fault.
But at the same time, if your helmet's broken, guess what? I got a bunch of plays right here.
Yeah, he got that. He got the Velcro.
You're a veteran quarterback. You know what the situation
Bill
is.
Lazor should have been calling the plays a long time ago because he has experience. We know that. Bill Lazor should have been doing that.
Yep.
So we talked about it in the last show. Nagy does not have the experience calling the plays.
Not necessary, no.
Not at all. So what's the point of having an offensive coordinator if you're not going to let him call the plays? I mean, isn't that the whole point of that? You know what I mean? Like head coaches call the plays all the time, but I mean.
So we're seeing a pattern here. Either we hire somebody with barely any experience and say, hey, here's the job, or someone that's
projects
old enough that was in World War II.
I thought they knocked down Cabrini. Why are we still talking about the projects?
I don't know, but we need a Candyman in here to take all these people out.
Oh man, Halloween's over, man. We're looking like. Problem is now we're gonna talk about starting looking like a bunch of turkeys.
Oh my God.
Nick Foles way too much of a vet for the LA games.
Yes.
Well, yes, I agree. He's 9 years in the league, but there's a reason why he's on his 15. He didn't work out in St. Louis when the Rams were in St. Louis. He didn't work out when he went. He was on the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs had him for a while.
For a cup of coffee. Yep.
The Jags. I mean, you got beat out by Gardner Minshew. You got beat out by a guy whose name is made up.
And doesn't Minshew have like one thumb right now?
Oh yeah.
That's still better.
Bill Lazor rallies the troops and they scored 10 points. Yeah, 100%.
You did, yeah. When
100%.
when they had that little huddle, they got a rally out of it.
Nagy has a problem with like chewing on his tongue when he talks, and that's why we put the drop in the show where he sounds like Porky Pig.
Yeah.
Because whenever he doesn't know what to say, he just sits there like he's like, well, that's why he spent all that time trying to defend Mitch, and that's all he did was talk about that. So breathe, man. I'm trying to remind myself to breathe.
Yeah, this is getting annoying. Next week against Tennessee, you would have a tough task with a better running back.
Yes. Well, a different type of running back.
Well, this guy's a freight train.
Kamara is very good.
Yeah, Kamara's, is elusive, kind of a Barry Sanders, kind of elusive. And then you got this guy, Derrick Henry, who's just a freight train. on wheels. I mean, that on the field, and he's just gonna bully these guys all over the place.
That's what he does. Look, Mac. I mean, he's the size of Mac. Mac. I feel like we're every week we call for where's Mac? Where's Mac? You see him, but
He's
I mean,
there. He's getting double and triple team.
he's getting double team. You look for what is Quinn doing, and you know what's funny is that when you look at what the Rams are doing, you look at every time they have a defensive highlight, who's in the middle?
Donald.
No. Floyd.
Oh, Floyd, that guy.
Of all people, you see Floyd out there getting
that's
sacks.
'cause
I mean, he
Donald-
had like an interception today or whatever it was.
Donald's getting triple team too.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
That's fine.
Donald's out there jumping on quarterback's back like it's a backpack, like he did to Alex Smith. So I don't know, man. It just,
The
I just want,
frustration is real.
we wanted to go live to give y'all a way to vent some frustration with us because we're about to go and record. Was this episode 17?
Episode 17.
Episode 17. We almost made it to the 20s, and when we get to that point, all bets are off. We're just gonna start talking and yelling at each other and throwing stuff. Then we'll maybe go live during the shows when we record.
Yeah, probably on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
See how many of you guys, all the grades get double. Yeah, absolutely. No Michael Thomas or Emmanuel Sanders, and we couldn't take advantage of that with the home win. Felt like those. Yeah, that's every game.
Wow.
Every game they're one play away with play calling and things like that. I mean, that's what did I say last week on the show? It says they're about 5 or 6 plays from being winless.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I mean, it all comes down to it. It seems like the games that they lost, they got beat pretty good, and the games that they won by the skin of their teeth, and that's kind of how they played all season. So that's why I say they could have been winless this season because they were just on the brink of winning or losing every single game, and that's frustrating. I mean, you look at what's going on in we couldn't take advantage. We couldn't take advantage of the fact that the crappy ass Vikings, beat the Packers, who've been very good all year. We couldn't take advantage of that. That's a joke.
And that's the thing is that we got the Vikings almost like back to back pretty much.
But at least the 2005 team. The 2005 team, yeah, I mean, I get that. I feel like the 05 team actually had a running game, though.
Yeah, with Thomas Jones.
With Thomas Jones, and they have Cedric Benson, R.I.P. That was a weird guy.
Yeah,
weird guy, weird
guy.
life, weird career.
Yeah, so
Good guy here. Have a good night, fellas.
all right, thanks, Vato.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is it's frustrating. We got who do you got next? Better defense in 05? Different style of play. You got to remember that in 05, you could do a lot more on defense. Now, like every ticky-tack, this is just like the NBA where you can't do anything on defense. So that's the reason.
The PI that they called on the defense.
Pass interference.
He was like,
oh, no. I mean, it's like watching like a million of LeBrons out there.
hey.
Hey, yeah. So, who do you got next?
So we got the Titans next Sunday in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a tough game. After that, they got the Vikings at home, the Vikings.
Oof.
Yeah. Then we got the Pack, the Lions, Texans, Vikings again.
So we're about
Jags.
to go into a stretch.
Pretty tough stretch.
Second half of the season coming up. Yeah, Titans, Vikings, Packers, Lions, Texans, Vikings, Jags, and Packers. We got Pack twice, we got Vikings twice, and we got Texans, Jags, and Titans, and that'll round up our AFC South schedule right there because the Colts already beat us.
And I only see 3 wins.
Ooh.
I only see 3 wins out of those games.
So, what you're telling me is that they're going to be a 500 team?
Yeah.
So we're back to hell. We're back to football hell. We're in purgatory right now, just sitting there churning. Oh my God! I feel like Kevin Nealon in Little Nicky, where he had the boobs on his head.
Oh.
Well, the problem is if I had the boobs on my head, at least I got some enjoyment out of that. You know what I mean? Right now, I just feel like a boob when I'm sitting here rooting for the same team every week.
I was thinking more like Groundhog Day, but sure, you want to go a little Nicky, go a little darker, that's fine. Yeah, it's Groundhog Day. We're going through the same motion again where we get all excited and we get our hopes up, and then we end up 8-8 with a similar coach who had no reason being our coach. How many offensive coordinators?
Too many.
Yeah. See? So it's Groundhog Day over and over and over. So
we're watching the same movie and never. What did I tell you last week?
Rewind.
What's the? Yeah. Hey, I like that movie. The definition of insanity.
Yes.
is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. The only thing that's really changed is we got Nick Foles instead of Trubisky. At this point, why didn't you just leave Trubisky in there? What was the panic to bring in Foles so hard during that Atlanta game?
There wasn't.
It was
anything.
weird. It was weird. It was like they're trying to put the final nail in the coffin for Trubisky before he even really got a chance to get going.
And for the coach and for the general manager. Because you know what? If they go 8-8, you got to clean house. You got to clean house. You're not going to give this guys another year.
I don't know.
Trubisky's not coming back next year.
Trubisky not coming back, but so you're going to tell me that
They're not going to give Nagy another year?
So you're telling me like you're average. So
Have
you're
you not
out.
seen what's happening in Chicago? We've been cleaning house with head coaches.
I don't know.
I mean, the Bears might hire Mike Ditka back.
No, please don't. Please don't. Good God. I talked about that. I says that's what I said. Hiring LaRussa is like bringing back Ditka.
Yeah.
It's like let's bring someone back from, you know what I mean? Like we're talking about baby boomers at this point. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that'd be like the Cubs hiring what's the guy?
Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah, no, you know Tommy Lasorda's on the Dodgers.
No, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, who's your oldest coach?
Oh, I don't know.
He's Lou Piniella.
Yeah.
They'd be hiring Lou Piniella back.
Yeah.
That's what that would be like. Yeah.
Lou Piniella.
Yeah.
That guy's still kicking around talking a lot of smack to people. Where he's talking out the side of his mouth when he's chewing on his gum. He was like an old school gangster, man.
Yeah, he was.
It was all the years that he was in New York. That's
Mitch
the problem.
would have got that first on the last possession at least. Yeah, he would have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because Mitch has the legs and Foles doesn't. Foles. That's why I call him a scarecrow. He can't move. He's just stuck in place with his little skinny arms. He's like the inflatable tube man. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna break down this Bears game. Unfortunately, it did end up being a loss. I think we do know that we're gonna be sitting here around the 8-8 team the way that we're going right now.
Yeah, you're not beating the pack.
Well, they could. I mean, the Vikings beat them. You know what I mean? Like, but Aaron Rodgers gets all juiced up when he gets to play the Bears.
Yeah, that's fine.
He gets all juiced up and he like starts talking about his discount double check and his Jake and State Farm commercials and all that
He
stuff.
lost Danica Patrick and that she's from Chicago-ish.
Well, now she's back to being a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Because they broke up. Does it work? Does that make sense? Can you? I mean, I guess if you're, it's just like when you're, if your kid gets drafted, all of a sudden you're a fan of that team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
if the Cubs came calling me and say you want to work for us, of course I'm going to go work for the Cubs, even though I'm a Sox fan.
You're going to start wearing Cubs gear?
I have to.
Oh, snap. I think I found a way to make this work. So that's how,
On that note.
That's how I turn you into a Cubs fan. I see.
You give me a job with the Cubs front office, definitely. I will not be a Cub fan, but I will work for the Cubs. And
you're going to root for them when they give you a ring.
Of course.
Right, exactly.
Well, just like Chico.
Well,
playing for the Bears,
mm-hmm.
and you went to coach in Philadelphia, coach in Carolina,
mm-hmm.
coaching in Washington now. I'm cheering for Chico.
Chico finished his treatment and
then he rang that bell.
He rang the bell and he looks like he's doing a lot better. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, shout out to Chico.
Chico is the best. I wish
very strong.
It would be great to have him as a coach. Of all franchises, for him to go to Washington, which is a train wreck with Daniel Snyder. I think he just went.
You think we have quarterback problems? They got quarterback problems.
Well, they got Dwayne Haskins and Alex Smith and who's the other?
So you got a pirate with one leg, and a guy that's confused in the head.
I'm rooting for Alex Smith.
So am I, but he's got one leg.
He's like, arr. Well, he should be on the Bucks. All right, y'all. We're gonna get to recording the show right now. Check us out Thursday morning. It will be released, episode 17. We are going to do our baseball post-mortem for the season and for both teams. Kind of a roundup, a little bit of news about both teams. We're going to talk about this Bears game in depth, and we're going to do a little preview of the game next week against the Titans. We're going to talk to our boy Il Brown, and we'll break down some Bears and probably go on another little rant.
Maybe he'll get called up to play for the Bears.
Man, that was awesome. Yeah, I mean he was on the Bears back in the day.
Yeah.
He was on the Bears back in the day, so maybe they'll say, "Hey, kid, it's your time to shine, eh?" No,
It's a shiny nickel.
yeah, that's about as much as they want to pay people too. So, anyway, check us out Thursday morning. New episode will be released. I'm still trying to figure out a title for this
episode is going to come out. Saint Nowhere? I don't know. Instead of Saint Elsewhere? I don't know.
Prayers unanswered. Living on a prayer.
Living on a prayer. Yeah, something.
We'll come up with something.
Maybe for once in our lives we'll be creative. So appreciate y'all watching. We got a decent amount of viewers this week. You know, especially after a Bears loss, it seems like bad news travels fast. So bad people want to hear about bad news more than good news. But
you should have seen when I posted the La Russa damn thing.
I'm not even a Sox fan, and I was still steamed up about that. So I can't wait. I can't wait as a Cubs fan to rant about this terrible.
Yeah, he's gonna give me so much crap.
I'm not gonna give you crap. I'm gonna give the White Sox crap.
JR, give it to JR, man.
Because it is not the fans' fault.
No.
And a lot of fans are upset. I saw one fan, and that was who was it? Oh, it was my boy Joel, that works at Apt.
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh, you can't go wrong with a Hall of Fame manager." I says, "You can if he's 97 years old."
You have other coaches that are just as old. Houston?
Did he manage Houston? We talking about Dusty?
Dusty's old.
I talked about how Dusty is. I'm not talking about him.
But he got his team that far.
Dusty came in because of an emergency situation. There was no thought put behind Dusty. They said, "Hey,
Agreed.
Dusty, what are you doing?
Agreed.
You still got that toothpick? All right, let's go." He's a player's coach. So
Yes.
that's what they did. So they were like, "Hey, we got to calm these guys down." And Dusty is also the kind of coach who will take the flack and absorb some of the attention they were getting from the media after they got in trouble. That's why they brought Dusty in.
Oh yeah, it was a safety blanket.
Right, and that's fine, and I get that. You protect your players. That's an organizational move. But the fact that Reinsdorf was the one that picked the manager for this team, you're cutting out the legs of your GM.
Yep.
You're cutting out the legs of the guys who you put in charge of making those decisions.
And all the coaches that worked their butt off to create this good team that we got now.
Right.
From always from the floor to the top. What we got there?
It worked. I don't know what worked.
What worked? What worked, Tom? I don't know. What are you talking about? Dusty worked in Houston?
Yeah.
That's a good team that's already put together that won a World Series. Now you can say whatever you want. You got two on paper. Yeah, on paper.
Yeah.
But this is what I said. I hate when they talk about taking away championships, taking away this, taking away that. This is because there's no way in the world that you can go into someone's brain and say, "Hey, remember that experience you had when you won the World Series? We're going to eject that from your brain like it's Men in Black."
Men in Black,
It
yeah.
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
They still have the experience. They still have the hardware. They still. What do you do? Break into their house and take away the metal or whatever, the ring that they.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. You can wipe it from the books all you want. It doesn't. It's an empty gesture.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want.
No,
Just
they
acknowledge the fact that something happened and move on.
They shouldn't have been barred from the playoffs for this year. They should have been fined significantly, and they should have been stripped of all this year, next year, maybe 3 years of draft picks.
And guess what that does? That still doesn't take away the fact that they won a championship.
No, but it's a punishment. It's a pretty big punishment.
Cool. That's cool.
And be like, all the revenue you got from the playoffs, so now you have to give it a charity.
If I go into my daughter's bowl of candy that she got from trick-or-treating and I eat all the Snickers, and this is, you're right.
You're going to do that anyway.
No, I am not. I'm on keto. Thank you very much. Sugar-free chocolate. But what I'm saying is that if I go in there and eat all the chocolate, my wife could be mad, my kid could be mad, but that doesn't take the chocolate out of my belly. I already had the chocolate.
It's true.
It's over. So there's like, well, next year you don't get any chocolate. Cool. I already got it last year. That doesn't take the chocolate away from me. That's what I'm saying is that it's trying to strip titles and all that. It's an empty gesture. It means zero.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
Yeah, I don't care about the title, their hardware. It's just penalizing, hitting them where it hurts, which is money.
That's okay. They still, and you gotta think Houston is not a team that's a perennial all-star, except for this squad they put together. It's not like the Yankees and the Dodgers and like the Cubs when they're good and these teams the Cardinals that you see over and over in the playoffs. That would hurt a team like that way more than a team that every once in a while, blind squirrel finds a nut, and that's what happened to them. Last time they were in the World Series is when the White Sox beat them. Before that, I couldn't even tell you. You know what I mean? They had the killer bees over there, and they really didn't do much with them.
Yeah, so they got swept.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. So this guy's still talking about
4
that.
games in a row.
Oh, brother. But that's my point is that you can't. You know what I mean?
Cough, Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Red Sox. This guy's a Red Sox fan.
But we're talking about the Red Sox, how they cheated too.
No, well, he's talking about the Red Sox always being around in the playoffs for about a good 12, 15-year stretch.
But my point is that it would hurt a team like that way more than it would hurt the Astros, who are just now kind of coming up. So cool. You still it's like if the Royals went back to back, or remember the Rangers went back to back. They didn't win, but the Royals went back to back. They lost when they won.
Royals and the Rangers. Yeah.
So I mean, that's the thing, is that it hurts those teams way less than it would hurt a big team in baseball, because you got like 5 big teams in baseball, really.
Well,
So
then you just make it, the penalty's super high, so they don't do it anymore. So we'll see. All right, y'all. We all gotta get recording. We gotta get this session done. We will talk to you soon.
Yeah,
So
we'll
look out.
what is it? What do you guys think needs to change with us playing the Titan deck? What do we think needs to change?
Oh boy.
Oh, let's see.
Damn.
There we go.
Here you go. There
Pass
you
the
go.
ball, pass the
the ball.
Running game was decent.
Keep doing that.
Keep doing that. Maybe have Javon Wims punch someone else in the face.
Yeah.
That'd be great if he could do that. Maybe punch Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry would eat him for lunch, which would be kind of funny. What needs to change? Take the clipboard out of Nagy's hand. Give it to
Yes.
Bill Lazor. Number one. That's number one. Start being more consistent on the plays that you're calling. Stop trying to turn Cordell Patterson into an offensive player, because he's not. Spread the ball. They did a lot of things good this week. They just didn't do enough. And unless you completely stifle a guy like Drew Brees, you're gonna have a hard time winning that game. They came close to winning that game. I'll give them props that they came in and they came back. They were down
There's
early in this game.
no sense of urgency on offense at all.
No. It's a lot of standing around, waiting, this and that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of scarecrow man standing there and waiting. So, what do you got to change?
More RPO, more...
Score more points.
Yeah, that too.
Score more points. Yeah, I mean that's just what it is. I mean, to get the clipboard out of Nagy's hands. Let's move on. And I don't mind Nagy as a coach. I think like the way that he works with the players is great. But as the best leaders in every sport, in any aspect of life,
Delegate.
Not just delegating, knowing when to delegate, knowing who to delegate to.
And then goes on a press conference like, oh, yeah, we and our coaches talked about it, and I'm not going to give up play calling. No, you didn't talk to him about that. You're their boss.
Right.
What are you going to say? Oh, yeah, can you give us a play? No,
Absolutely
I'm not. Absolutely not.
So, I don't know. Offensive line play is bad too. Run the ball more. You saw them when they started running the ball more consistently. You saw them, but I still need them to break 100 yards. 100 yards rushing is going to make all the difference in the world. Even with all that said, they do what they're really good at. Start of the game, Foles had time to run the ball for a clear first down. Foles can't run for that first down because Foles will take one step and his leg would fall off. He don't have the legs for that. You see, Trubisky got a much thicker lower body, so he could have made that, and he could have hit, and he could lower his shoulder and hit hit a defender and make a difference. Yeah. Foles would have another broken clavicle, and then we get to see Trubisky play again anyway.
Still 8-8.
Yeah, so I mean,
that makes no difference.
It's right now.
It's not gonna make a difference.
The problem, the frustration is we're sitting here looking at the fact that they're more than likely wasting a really good defense. Yeah. A really good defense. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Appreciate you, Ronnie. Don't forget to check out the podcast. We're about to record literally in a couple minutes right now.
Yeah.
Episode 17. So if you check out the page, I post it every single Thursday. Those are my graphics, and our producer flips the whole show. Do you think we'll see Lamar Miller soon?
I hope so. Make it at least 2 backs, so that way they can change the play calling. Like, you could have 2 backs back there. You could have our different types of RPO setups.
So I'll tell you what. I was listening to the radio before the show or before the game. And they says, well, when are we going to see Lamar Miller? And what they said was they have Ryan Nall, right? When he got in the game, I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, who's this white guy? Like, I was like, I didn't know. It was like, who is Hall?
No.
Like, oh, that's Nall. I was like, okay. Yeah. The reason that they're playing Ryan Nall right now is because he's been with the squad he's been on the Bears for 2 years, and he knows the system. So right now they have Lamar Miller in the practice, or when they do practice and things like that. So, but yeah,
they dumped all his money on Foles and could have got better quarterback. Yeah.
They traded for Foles. That was a conscious choice. And they got Foles because he knew Nagy's system. He worked with a couple of the guys that works with Nagy now.
He knows another crappy system.
So he knows another. Well, Foles. Here's the thing that I forgot to mention is that Foles is another project.
Yeah, he is.
Foles is another project.
He's a journeyman.
Right. So how can you trust a guy like that? I don't know, man.
What's that 6'8" quarterback we had a couple years ago? That got $13 million or something like that.
Oh, Mike Glennon?
Yeah.
The giraffe?
Yeah. That's another journeyman. That's exactly what Foles is.
Oh God.
I think Glennon played today.
Glennon's only, Glennon's only aspect that he was good was that when his head's so far up, he could see right over the line. He just like, but the problem is that he couldn't see everyone coming at his feet. So like, he went down. It was like watching Group fall down.
Because
Mac and the rest of the defense are putting up their heart in the field.
oh yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, today they I would say like they still came back. They just fell short of winning the game. I mean, there was a few plays here and there. It's not like they got blown out. You know what I mean? It's not like they got blown out and they couldn't make it back. And it was like, so I mean, they were decent today. They weren't terrible. It was just little things here and there like you got to clean up.
But they haven't played a healthy team either.
No, they haven't played. Well, no, they haven't really played a healthy team all season.
No.
What about Tampa? What was wrong with Tampa?
They had
their Goodwin. Goodwin was out.
Yeah.
Is it Goodwin or Godwin?
Godwin.
There's two of them.
Yeah.
There's one's on San Francisco, one's on Tampa.
Yeah. But everybody's had like the number one wide receiver out.
Yeah.
So.
Win a Super Bowl. We have a good swat trying to hear these damn Niner fans, Raider fans. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the Chargers, the Rams.
The Raiders are out there in Vegas now, which I still don't. They're like the Vegas Raiders. I'm like, who is that?
They should have changed their.
Hey, look, the Niners are a nice squad right now. The Niners kind of have their resurgence every couple years. They did when they had Cap and they went to the Super Bowl against the Ravens. So they're having their resurgence right now. To me, like, I have a soft spot in my heart for, like, these old school teams with the old school uniforms. The Niners, the Steelers, teams like that. Except the stupid Packers because they suck all the time. I'm trying to keep it PG over here so I won't say what I really want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I have a soft spot in my heart for these old school teams, except the Washington football team.
Well, I was a big fan of the 49ers myself back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah, absolutely.
With Montana, so.
Montana, even the Chiefs. Like I love the Chiefs as like an old school, like the original AFC team, where it's just like Lamar Hunt. You need a solid plan to get a dub against the Titans. Oh, absolutely. I mean, but again, I think of here's the plan against the Titans. Stop Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. You stop Derrick Henry, you have a very good chance of winning the game.
Right.
Garoppolo's hurt again?
Oh, boy.
Man, he's too good looking to get hurt, man. That hurts my He's from here, too. You know what I mean? Like, I root for Jimmy G. I'm hoping the Niners beat the Packers this week coming up. Me, too.
Yes, of course.
I hope the Packers lose every game they ever play. I told you this. I want the Bears to win every game ever, no matter how ugly or how pretty it is, and I want the Packers to lose every game. And I want them to lose because Aaron Rodgers is a dork. And he sucks. And I hate that guy. Not because he got injured.
As long as he puts up points for my fantasy team, I don't care.
Oh, shut up. You were talking about that. He was like, yes. And I'm like, no. Yeah, anyway, guys, listen. We got to get to recording because we've been on here for like 40 minutes already. Yeah, a lot of fantasy teams are hurting. It's all luck of the draw. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're going to get going to record episode 17. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk to Will Brown, like I said. We're going to try not to throw this football through the wall while we talk about it because I'm going to be frustrated again. Not like last week. At least they showed up today. We're going to talk about the oldest man in baseball right now. Any final thoughts before we go?
Go Bears.
Go Bears. I like it. Go Bears. Go Cats. Mullins came in, got 3 touchdowns when Garoppolo came out. What do you...
That might be the same thing that happened with the Patriots, when Bledsoe went out and never came back.
Well, what is his name? I appreciate you, Ronnie. Yeah, I would like to see Mitch come out. That was Nagy being cute. I'm gonna be honest with the Trubisky thing. That was Nagy trying to be cute because Taysom Hill kept coming in the game, and I'm sure he's heard us talk about why don't you try Trubisky in a different role. So that was just him trying to be cute a little bit. But yeah.
All right, guys, we got to head out. We got to record.
That's right.
Thank you for tuning in. Listen to the podcast this Thursday for your ride to work.
Ride to work, ride home, while you're jogging, while you're running.
At work.
Yeah, put it on and know your boss. Get them to listen. We got a good stirring the pot this week, too. This is going to be a controversial one. It might be a tie or it might be a lot of yelling down here in the fan cave. But check us out Thursday morning, every Thursday morning. Baseball, football, stirring the pot. So check us out, okay?
All right, thanks, y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Have a good week.
And there we go. It still didn't finish.